All right, good evening once more and welcome to Social Behavioral Skills. The session is on live record and you'll get the recording after the session. My name remains Aaron Grace Oak, and tonight we are going to look at a very important aspect of the course. So if you have questions, you note them down. When we are done, we could go through that. So in our previous session, we look at...
Hello, sir. Good evening. I think your line is not that clear. If you can...
That is a network. Is not about the line. It's a network. I've already informed you that I may have network challenge. We all are the mercy of the network. So the location will have an effect on the session. So I believe it will get better. So kindly bear with me. It's a network I'm using. It's not the... I don't have problem with the speakers or anything. It's a location. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. So today we are looking at task-related behaviors. So coming out shortly, I'll look at what task-related behaviors are, and then the key areas that revolve around task-related behavior. So task-related behaviors are the duties. So when we talk about a task or a duty, we are talking about actions that you are required to take, or duties that you are required to perform are the task. They also refer to the jobs that you need to get done in one way or the other. So the dots we want to connect here is that task-related behaviors usually translate into job performance. Task-related behaviors will translate into job performance. So we'll refer to task-related behaviors as the combination of your general abilities, your knowledge, your talent, and expertise that are necessary to get a job or a task accomplished. So task-related behaviors skills are the general abilities, including the knowledge, the talent, and expertise you have that can enable you get a task or a job done easily. We also refer to them as the common skills that are necessary to accomplish common jobs and tasks. So what it means is that when we talk about the common skills, you don't need to have a specific, technical skill in the area before you can get things done. So whether you specialize in the field or not, there are soft skills or common skills that by nature everyone should have, that when the person deploy them in his or her work, it will help him or her do very well. So those are what we refer to as a task-related, skills. We need to draw the line between the occupation-specific skills and then the task-related skills. So the task-related skills are the competencies. The occupation-specific skills, on the other hand, are the competencies that you need to acquire for or specialists to do their unique or specific job. So if I want to be a professional accountant, I have to enroll either in the ACCA program and
Hello,
read. Can you mute yourselves? Please mute yourselves so that you don't disrupt the class. Those who are joining, and please join with your real name so that I can know the people who are in the class. Using some jargons and device names as your name will not be appropriate, because I don't know how to refer to you. I can't be referring to someone here as iPhone or anything. So please. So the occupation specific skills are, we are ironing them out, that they do not refer to the same issue as the task related, because these are specific competencies that we need to acquire on the job as a specialist in the area. Okay. Now let's look at how we can acquire task-related skills. How can we acquire task-related skills? Learning is a great way to acquire any skills that you need. What we should be laying emphasis on in every area of our lives is to go for skill training. Everything you want to do in life is possible if you acquire the relevant skills and competencies you need in that area or field. So like any other area, task-related skills can easily be acquired when one applies his or her mind to learn them. When you apply your mind to learn things, you could acquire the skills that you take for granted. You can acquire them. There are people who train as accountants, but as I'm speaking, they are consulting for IT firms, because they realize that, yes, they have done accounting, but there is a software they need to learn. There are people who specialize in accounting softwares. It wasn't originally part of their training, but they have acquired new softwares and they know how to navigate it. So it becomes an asset for them. They are going about training people in that area and making good money. So one of the great ways we can acquire task-related skills is to seize the moment to learn. So if you are in industry, don't yearn for promotion, yearn for training, yearn to acquire skills. When you acquire skills, the promotion comes automatically. Even if you don't get promoted in your current organization, you can apply to other organizations. You could get poached by other organizations where your skills will put you, at the top level for, employment. So if you want your market value to go higher in the corporate, you should be hungry for nothing more than skill acquisition. Go for skill training. When you collect your salary, apply some 500, apply some 1,000 to go for skill training, go for workshops. The money is in the skill training. The money is there. If you go for skill training, you have a scale-up effect. You'll be able to climb the ladder faster than those who don't have the skills. Academic qualifications are good, certification is good, but let's learn to acquire some skills in our various areas. The second one is to practice. Practice also means that whatever you learn, you need to seize the opportunity to put them into good use. If you don't demonstrate it, nobody will know how good you are in the area. So going for industrial attachment, learning on the job by doing, observing and modeling people, and then going for practical toolkits on areas of interest to you are critical in supporting that you learn and acquire task-related skills. All right, so let's look at some of the examples of task-related skills we need to acquire. The first one is task planning. We have time management, we have problem solving, we have practical skills and negotiation skills. When we talk about the task planning, a lot of people don't know how to plan events. They don't know how to plan their day. They don't know how to plan their task. So task-related skills, one of them you need is task planning. Task planning is about the composition of your general skills and the abilities to set goals. So goal setting is number one. One important ingredient of task planning is to set goals. So goal setting is a critical and the most important stage in task planning, because what do you have to do? What do you want to achieve? What do you want to accomplish, say, in a day, in a week, in a month, in a semester? You cannot plan anything if you don't have a goal in mind. So setting your goals, making it clear, making it achievable and measurable are critical in the first place. Once you are able to do that, the next thing you need to do is to determine your resources. What are the resources that I need? Okay, if you set a goal to make A in social behavioral skills as a short-term goal, a semester-based goal, then the next question you ask yourself, what are my resources? What do I need to be able to achieve this goal? So I might avail myself for lectures. I must have the reading materials for the course. I must be able to carry out my own primary and secondary research, read other sources, materials to get a broader understanding. I also need to get enough materials. If I want to use the online or library sources, you could do that as well. So determining the resources are critical. That will help you know what you need and what you don't need at a particular stage in life. The third aspect of planning is to schedule events, schedule the time. It's about, now we are living in a very busy world in a sense that, hey, if you can't get anything done, if you don't create the time for it, if you don't hold a time down on your calendar, it's difficult to achieve anything. We are so busy that Monday to Friday we are just up and down. So if you don't just have a goal, a lot of times people set New Year resolution goals, New Year plans that I want to do this, I want to do that. But the thing never materializes because, number one, after setting the goal, they don't even set the goal. They just have it as a desire or a wish. So I wish to do this, I wish to do that. So they basically do some of those things. It's just a wish, a wild wish. I wish to marry before 2024 is over. Liana, can you mute yourselves? Those of you joining, please mute your microphone. If you are not speaking, you are not contributing, kindly mute your microphone so we don't disrupt the class. Fred and Robert, your microphones are on. Can you mute them? All right. So most of the time we just have wishes to that make us feel good. But to really get the thing into reality, it will call for a lot of discipline. It will call for goal setting. It will call for constantly going to your drawing board and work it. Drawing board, work it. Deploy the plan, deploy the schedules, deploy the goals, deploy the resources you need, and then put time on it. Anything you don't put time on to do, you can't do it. Anything you don't put time on to do, you cannot do it. If you want to braid your hair, it will still remain a dream until you put time to it. Putting time, okay, this coming Saturday, 10 a.m., I'll go to the salon at Kasua and have my hair done. That is time. But once you just set goals, you just have a wish list, you don't put time on it, you don't determine the resources, the year will come and pass and you accomplish nothing. Before we blame the devil, let's blame ourselves too as well. Okay, so it is important for us to know the nitty-gritty of tax planning. The next thing I want to talk about is apart from tax planning, I want us to take a quiz on tax planning. Let me just hold on a bit. We want to test ourselves about how best we plan our task. So I'm going to show on your want to look at our tax planning skills. So I'm bringing you a thing on the screen. How well do you plan? We want to see whether those of us online, we are great planners or not. All right, so let's look at this. So the task is to look at the score domain and then pick whatever reflects yourself. You know yourself better than anybody. So so let's look at this. Want to look at how well you plan.
Sir, please, my screen is not coming.
Your network. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, I can see.
All right, so we have a questionnaire for us, and we have the questions on the left side, and then we have the score on the other side. So in all, we have about 5 questions. You are required to look at, just pick your pen or you can do it on your phone. Just read the question on the left and the answers, your responses are graded from 1 to 5. So 1 means never to the statement. 2 means seldom. 3 means sometimes, 4 means often, and then 5 means always. So the first question says, how often do you plan in an effort to keep life running out of order or control? How often do you plan in an effort to keep life from running out of control? So I want everyone to answer that for me. If you never plan, then you select 1. If you seldomly plan, you take 2. You write 2 for that 1 question. If you sometimes plan, you write 3. If you often plan, you write 4. And then if you always plan, then you write 5. So 5 is the highest. Are you done? You can only select 1 for each statement. You can only select 1 of the numbers, the one that reflects you. Can we move on? All right. Hello. I think my network logged me out. I went off. So let me take that again. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, my network logged me out. All right, so the second one said, do you put daily plans on paper? So the first one, have we all selected our options? How often do you plan in an effort to keep life from running? Hello, yes, you call. Hello. All right, so are we done with the first one? Have we all selected what reflected us?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go to the second one. Do you put daily plans on paper? Do you put daily plans on paper? So grade it from 1 to 5 by picking just one that reflects you.
Daughter is gone.
Can we mute ourselves? The session is under recording. If you are not speaking, just mute yourself. Liana, can you mute your microphone?
Sir?
Now let's go to the third one. Do you allow flexibility in your plans? Do you allow flexibility in your plans? Grace Autry, you are messing my screen up. You cannot select on the screen. Just write it somewhere, and then when we are done, you add all of them. Don't draw lines on the screen. Do you allow flexibility in your plans? So pick from 1 to 5, the one that reflects you. If you always plan with flexibility, you pick 5, always. The next one we are looking at All right. The fourth one, how often do you accomplish all you plan for a given day? How often do you accomplish all you plan for a given day? How often do you accomplish all you plan for in a given day? Are we done? Okay, let's go to the next one. How often do you plan time for what matters most to you? How often do you plan time for what matters most to you? So you pick from 1 to 5. And the last one is, how often is your daily plan destroyed by urgent interruptions? How often is your daily plan destroyed by urgent interruptions? How often do we plan? Okay, so if you are done with yours, just add all that you have and give us the total. So we'll call 1 or 2 people to report what they have. Add all of them together and let's know your total. So if you are ready to present, you just tell us your raw score, the total you have scored for all the questions. If you are ready, just show by hand so I can give you the opportunity to share your answer with us. Anybody? Hello, is anyone ready with the answer?
Sir,
Yes.
add 18.
Who is speaking?
Vida.
You had 18. Okay.
Yes.
So let's interpret what the 18 means.
Okay.
Let me interpret for you what the 18 means. So if you score 18, 18 means that okay, so if you score 18, you are between 16 to 20. So that means you are an average planner. Okay, so if you score 18, you are either you are an average planner, or it means that your planning system is working, but you can do better. You may also need help focusing on priorities. You also need to learn to deal with urgent interruptions, or writing your daily plans out will help overcome such a challenge. Okay, so that's from Vida's position on the scorecard. Yes, who else want to
Thank you.
share with us? You're welcome. Who else want to share with us?
So I had 22.
Who is speaking?
Fred.
Okay. Fred had 22. Let's see what 22 means. You are between, so that's an average planner. You are above average planner. You are an above average planner. Your planning system is working well, but you have to keep up the good work with periodic reviews to be sure you are planning around what matters most in your life. Don't just plan, but ensure you are planning around what matters most to you, Fred. Thank you for your feedback and sharing your answer with us. The next person, let's get one or two more.
Sir,
Hi,
please, I had 19.
19. So 19, you are also within a Vides range. Your planning system is working, but you can do better. You may need help focusing on priority areas. You must also learn to deal with urgent interruptions, or consciously you need to write your daily plan out every day. That will help. All right, so thank you. Let's get one or two more and we will have to move on. Yes, who else want to share with us?
Sir, please, I got 11.
11, Mami, Abba, Bema, Apu.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You had 11. That is, you are almost nearly a terrible planner. You are below average. You are a below average
Yes.
planner. You may already have a planning system, but it seems it's not working well. But using
Yes,
it
sir.
more effectively will help to reduce the stress. If you learn to plan well, you reduce your stress, I'm telling you. And you also lack
Yes.
control. You lack a lot of control. So you need to jack up your planning system. Make sure you are planning around what matters most to you. Make sure that you keep track of
Yes.
your event activities so that it doesn't become cloudy on you. See, when you don't plan well, things can get piled up on you, and you feel like you are almost getting lost in all the things. You are not making headway in everything. So I think that's what you need to focus on. Very soon,
Yes, sir.
examination will be here, and students are ill prepared for the exam. So they are looking for questions, past questions to solve, but it is solely coming from lack of effective planning. You should plan every semester how you wish to go through the semester. That is extremely important. All right, so Mami Bema, thank you. Any other person? Who else want to share? Who else would like to share?
Sir, I had 20.
Rebecca Man. Okay. Becky. Is that my friend who dropped me off last time? Okay.
Yes, please.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for last time. I appreciate it. Okay, you had 20. All right, so you are at the brink. You are an average planner. Your planning system is working, but you can do better. You may have to focus on your priorities more, and then also take your time to mitigate any urgent interruptions to your plans. You have a planning system working well, but you need to work hard to mitigate the interruptions. The interruptions are things that you didn't plan for. You plan to be at La Paz at 10 a.m. and be few minutes to that time. You only realize that you have another appointment you need to honor. So that we call it interruptions. So you need to work to reduce the interruptions to the barest minimum. It also means that you need to look at your scale of preference and tackle what matters most to you. Obviously, you can't achieve everything in a day, but you need to be very selective about what matters most. What is most important should always fill your activity. So, Becky, that's the feedback on your score. Is it helping? Are you enjoying the lesson?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's get last one. Let's get one more.
Yes, sir.
person. All right, let's get one more last person to share his or her score with us.
Sir, please, I had 22.
22. Okay, I think we have already talked about it. 22, you are in above average planner. So above average planner, your planning is working well and all that. So especially those who fall within 6 to 10, 11 to 15, you need to work hard. You need to work hard. It means you have to take time management plan. That is, you need to undergo some time management training. Number one, you need to set specific academic or personal goals for yourself. Number two, you need to create a term calendar. Every semester, begin your semester with the creation of your personal term calendar. The term calendar means that you should know the clear dates about when school resumes and when you are going to write exam. And then you should also know the times for your mid-semester exams, assignments, and all that. So most of us have our Google calendars on our phone. We have event planners on our phones. They are built together with our Google calendars. So you can use your phone to plan your semester, putting time and deadlines on everything that you need to do. And that will help you navigate the semester. Most of us just go through the semester. We wake up, we go through the semester without any plan. And also soon you hear, oh, lectures is ending next week. And it's like, exam is here. I didn't take my leave. If I had to take my leave, I didn't process my leave. I am unable to study. Then it looks like you have to go and burn midnight candle, squeeze yourself, inconvenience yourself to go and write something. And the truth is that what you couldn't read the whole semester, 12 weeks, what you couldn't read in 12 weeks, you are now coming to do 12 weeks work in let's say one night before the paper. That would be extremely stressful. It was so stressful for you that you couldn't read your books in 12 weeks. How possible is it that in one night you can read all that you need to do in a whole semester, 3 months or 4 months work in a sitting to go and write the exam? So this is where the confusion comes from. But if we plan well, you study on time, you have a schedule that, okay, every week I'll read one subject at least 2 hours. I will always go through what we have covered in lectures. You realize that you'll be better off than piling notes, piling studies down for exam or revision period. And because you combine work with education, you need to have a good mastery over your planning and schedules. Other than that, you will not be able to survive the university system because the tough courses are ahead, and it will only bow to those who manage to master the arts and the science of planning. Any question, please? Okay. So let's go back to the slide. I'll be done very soon. It's been a long day for me. I'm just trying my best to see.
I'm just trying my best
But
to
so let's look at the next one. So you need the time management skills. They are important. Now, other areas in task-related skills apart from planning and time management, you also need the problem-solving skills, which are the ability to solve task-based issues and problems you may encounter. You also need practical skills like using tools, computer, software development, equipment, or any technology in your task management. You need to learn them. And then finally, you also need to learn the art of negotiation. So negotiation has to do with a set of skills to communicate with colleagues and senior members to discuss certain tasks and come to agreement. So these are the key critical areas that task-related skills touch on. So that is, I want to look at the second one. Is there any question before I look at the second topic? Class, is there any question?
Sir, please, will you share the slides with us?
You already have it in your books.
In our books.
Yeah.
Eh.
Yes. Yes. Someone call. Hello?
Yes, sir. This is Trevor. I had wanted to ask the same question, but it looks as you have answered me. That whatever you are teaching can be found in the textbook.
Yeah. Okay. Any other? Any other? Is a lesson clear? Do you enjoy the online?
Yeah.
Are we enjoying the online?
Sir, I
Yes,
in
sir.
particular, I'm behind the steering wheel, so I'm not enjoying as much as I wanted to.
So you have the recording to be able to go over. Would that be
All right, thank you, sir.
okay? So the advantage of the online is that you can have a real time, or you can always catch up after the class because you have the recording.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Another area we want to look at is emotional skills. Now, the emotional skills are also called social-emotional skills. Some call it, emotional skills or whatever way. They are the range of skills that especially children and young people are supposed to acquire or develop. They need it to develop their resilience and manage their thoughts, their feelings, and behavior appropriately. Modern life has become very stressful, and you don't want to complicate it further. If you are not in control of yourself, your emotion, you may end up committing a lot of errors, hurting wrong people, disgracing yourself at the long run. So you don't have authority or power to control what other people say about you. You don't have control over what people say to you, but you have every authority, power, and influence to control how you react to the things you see. You have the power to control how you react to things that people say to you. And so you need these resilience skills to be able to navigate the world we find ourselves in. So emotional development has some core areas I want to look out for, and that a good socio-emotional development of a person, a fully well-developed socio-emotional skills will mean that number one, the individual have the ability to identify and understand his or her own feelings. Sometimes people are just moody for no reason. You ask them what is the problem, they are not really ready to talk to you. And definitely other people are not the cause of their problems. They refuse to avail themselves for positive social emotional development. So we have our own feelings. It could be good, it could be bad, it could be wrong, it could be bad. You could feel sad, you could feel happy. From January till now, no one online can tell us for sure that he or she has been happy, always happy, ever happy for the past month since January. Why? Because emotion is a state. It's a state in a sense that it doesn't last for forever. It keeps changing. You could be happy for the next 1 hour or 30 minutes, and you may receive a call that can deactivate that happiness and make you angry or sad. So emotions are states, but whatever we are saying here is that whatever the situation might present, you as a person should always manage your emotions well. You need to manage how you express your emotions well. When you are hurt, you don't have to let the whole world know that you are hurt. If you are hurt, you don't need to get heaven loose. If you are hurt, it's not always the fact that you have to speak your mind. Sometimes in speaking your mind, you spill a lot of garbage out, and people get to know who you really are. You get to know who people are, especially when they get angry, when they are in their weakest point and they are unable to. Some people lash out on others because of the poor emotions or the pains they are feeling. So the Bible even said that if your strength fail in difficult times, then your strength, you are not strong enough. So let's take note of that. As a well-developed emotional, socio-emotional skills will mean that you are able to identify and understand your own feelings. Why am I feeling the way I am feeling? Okay, I don't have money. That's why I'm feeling sad. You shouldn't hurt others because of that. The fact that you are not feeling happy does not mean that you should put everybody at a fault as though they are the cause of your problem. Number two core area is that an emotional development may also include one's ability to accurately read and comprehend the emotional state in others. So first, coming to terms with your own feelings. Number two, you should be able to pick people's emotions faster. When you call someone within 2 seconds, you should be able to discover the emotional state the person is. There are people you want to have good conversation with. It could not happen because they are not in the best mental state of mind. You don't need to ask them. You just have to know it and drop the call or pick the important of conversation. You could have it later. Some guys are clueless about these things. They call, hello, how are you? And they want to have a long chat, but the lady on the other side, she's not in the mood. And the person keeps giving you straight answers, but you are still pushing your luck. it means you are not reading the writing on the wall. It's all over her. It's all over her voice. The person doesn't want to have a good conversation. But even if she doesn't pick the call, you are going to call her 1,000,000 times. So people just pick the call and fall dead on the call just to listen to the nonsense you want to say. When you say it and you are tired, you drop the line and go. But a smart person should be able to quickly pick people's emotions in conversation, in daily interaction, both virtually and physically, so you could be able to quickly adjust your plan, adjust yourself. So the reason why you have to read other people's emotion is not to control or to push the people, but to be able to quickly adjust yourself. Behaviorally, you could adjust what you want to say or do because of the readings you are getting from the signals you are getting from the other person. You could also change the subjects you want to discuss based on the readings you are picking up from the other person's conversation, demeanor on the phone, his or her body language is not inviting. The person is not really ready for any such conversations. But some people still want to push and suffocate human beings to have a conversation that the person is not ready to have. So these are the critical issues that we are dealing with. The third one is that you need to also develop the tentacles to manage strong emotions and also express such emotions in a constructive manner. There are people when they get angry, they just talk anyhow. When you are angry or you are looking for something, you are looking for something from the person and you couldn't get it. You don't go about saying that because the person didn't provide what you are expecting, the person doesn't love you anymore. Because I asked you this money, you didn't give it to me, means that bullshit, you don't love me, you don't do this, you don't do that. So he has been good, she has been good 90% of the time. At least appreciate the person for all that. But human beings are such a way that even if you are 99% good to them and you are 1% wrong, or you are unable to live the 1% well, they'll use the 1% to judge all the 99% of good you have done to them. And that is unfair. So we need to manage our emotions well. When the emotions are charged, the environment is charged, things are hot, we need to be able to find a way around it, to wrap our head around it and maintain good composure. That is where resilience comes in. And then the last three parts of the social-emotional development is that you should be able to regulate your own behavior, pull the brake. Sometimes you want to just drop some word and you realize that it will not go well. You don't need to push it out. You need to pull the brake. It's called having self-control, or regulate your own behavior. You also need to develop empathy for others, not sympathy. People who develop empathy are able to put themselves in the other people's shoe. They are able to commiserate with people. They have a fellow feeling. There are people who are not empathetic at all. Something happened to your friend. You couldn't be there. You couldn't avail yourself to be able to support the person. But when it happens to you the other time, another time, you expect the same person to come in and be with you. That is not fair. So remember that empathy will beget empathy. Empathy will always beget empathy, not sympathy. Sympathy is lighter than empathy. Empathy means you share yourself deeply with the person's situation, and you are also ever ready to support the person to come up from whatever problem the person might have. And then finally, a good socio-emotional development also touch on your ability to establish and sustain relationships. So remember, I'm not talking about boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. There is S to the relationships, meaning that we're supposed to consciously build good relationships or network of friends around you. This afternoon, I was going somewhere and then I picked a boat and the guy was so good, so down to earth. Apparently, the guy is a colonel in the army in the US, UK. He's a colonel in the UK. He came down to Ghana like 6 months now, and he's driving Uber. And he was able to tell me how much he makes out of Uber in Ghana, 12,000 a month. And he has other businesses. He wants to go back to UK and then resign his job and then take his end of year service and come and go into big time large scale farming in the north and export tubers of yam and all that. And this is a guy I just met, and we were able to have good relationships. I took his contacts. I told him some few things. He also told me some few things, and the relationship was like, it was almost like we knew each other like 10 years ago. Trust me, it was good. It was really good. So sometimes we lack the power, the ability to strike conversation with people we meet, especially acquaintances. Every good friend you have today was once an acquaintance. Every good friend you have today was once an acquaintance. What it means is that you definitely just need to seize one moment to turn that stranger into a best of friend. But most of the time, we lack the skills to converse. We lack the skills to develop such relationships. And some of us, we always want to be in our lane, in our corner. If somebody doesn't tell us hello or hi, we never respond. We always want other people to initiate conversation. I've been teaching many people for many years. Only few people even walk to my office and say, or I just passed by to say hello. And they behave as though you don't exist. When they are going for when they are going to miss lectures, they don't even care to inform. They do whatever they want to do. And then last minute, they are going to write exam and they want to be nice to you. What does that suggest? You don't even want to waste your time on them, because you know that such people are users. They use you and go, and you don't want to pay attention to such people. So always develop relationship ahead of time, far ahead of time before you even need them. If you need things and you begin to develop relationship, trust me, it won't work. And nobody will have time for that. You are the whole semester, they don't even check or say, how are you doing? Okay, I just passed by to see you. Is everything okay? Is everything fine? They wouldn't. You organize IA, they will not take. Then they come and write exam and they go and sleep and expect that the result will come and they will pass. You go and resit. I won't even pick my phone and call that, well, you haven't done your IA, so come and do it. No, I don't do that. So these are some of the things. So a good emotional development include all these areas, and it's about making oneself socially competent. You must develop what we call social competence. What are the areas of social emotional development and how can they help? The social emotional skills help you manage your feelings and your behavior well. You need them to build healthy relationships. You should also have self-control. It helps you resolve conflict better, and then also help you develop self-awareness. You know who you are, you know your weaknesses, and you know how to handle yourself when you find yourself in any situation. So basically, those are the things. You also help you handle and overcome difficulties, make good decisions, build resilience, self-esteem, and confidence in yourself. Always confident. It also helps you think positively, recognize and prevent poor mental health, and then grow into well-rounded and healthy person at all times. So this is the end of the 2 lecture session. I've been able to cover 2 topics today. And thanks be to all of you who avail yourselves. We want to call it a night. If there is any question, then we can take it before I go. So all the emotional skills, you can go through them by training for them. You need to do self-awareness skill training, self-regulation you must learn it. Empathy must be learned, motivation must be learned. So in our next session, we'll be looking at personality and temperament. Let's all be available on Saturday morning to take our first assessment in person. Remember not to leave your books at home because you do the assessment in your book. So let's come early so we can get it done. So I'll pause here. If there are questions, you can ask before we move. Any question? Hello, class. Is there any question? Is there any question?
No, sir.
All right.
No, sir.
How will you assess the session online? Let's assess ourselves.